Time for the cool seat. In the cool seat today, Hannah De Quincey, who's the artistic director at Moonstruck Astronaut, which is a not-for-profit theatre company. It's based in Newport. Hannah, thank you very much for being with us in the cool seat this
I'm
morning.
absolutely blessed to have been asked by Macy to come onto your programme. Thank you.
Tell me about Moonstruck Astronaut.
Um, well, I mean, if you want, in terms of Moonstruck Astronaut, the name itself landed a long, long time ago when I was walking home to my studio flat in London in about 2008. And I was just finishing my master's in theatre directing. I knew I wanted to spend my life uniting people through theatre and drama.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to set up a community theatre company. And I just looked up at the moon, and I think there's often quite a few foxes around. I just remember there's some foxes looking at the bin, and it just really landed that Moonstruck Astronaut. It's just got such a lot of beautiful connotations. For children, and we all have an inner child, I think, who dreams of getting to the moon, and also that idea of just shooting for the moon, and even if you miss, you land among the stars. And so that sense of aspiration and imagination and dream, and the logo sort of really is lovely in that way. It's a rainbow coming from the rocket, and sort of he's going to the moon, and maybe we'll never ever get to the moon, but it's still this sense of dreaming, as we're doing today, of a better future, it's just and that sense of keeping love and fun at the heart of community.
Yeah.
So that in terms of that, but the actual on the ground, our tagline is in orbit around children, and we co-create arts projects that uplift and unite. So what's happened this year is finally was able to deliver a dream idea I've had for a few years called Drama in the Forest.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which is at Wrekin Forest School. It managed to ground, which is a beautiful venue, their event site that's usually used for weddings.
Mm-hmm.
So we delivered an outdoor drama sort of 3-day workshop in the summer holidays for 7 to 12-year-olds this August, and it was sensationally successful. There's photos on our new improved website if people would like to have a look at www.moonstruckastronaut.com. And I do want to say a massive thank you to Andy Craddock of Tech with No Limits Kick, who's been working with me because he sort of knew this interview was coming up, and we had the idea, and it was like, right, let's get it done. So he's been, this community theatre company is supported by a huge amount of beautiful people. A lot of them volunteering to keep it moving forward. So we specialise in drama in the outdoors. I feel like, and drama teaching. So wanting to get children and adults, everyone outdoors in what I feel is, as well, we all know, is a nurturing space, excellent for well-being in so many ways, and a neutral space.
Yeah.
And that's what I find is critically important about it, that the children on that Drama in the Forest, we did another one in October, are meeting on equal terms with it's not like this baggage of where you're from, what school you're at, and all that sort of stuff. It's like a real sense of, for me, equality that nature brings, and companionship and friendship and respect. And obviously drama. I mean, there are so many life skills you're learning through co-creating drama together.
Is it important that it happens? As you mentioned, it's in the outdoors. Is it important that this is drama that is not happening in, if you like, a theatre or or the sort of studio space where you might anticipate this sort of thing would happen?
I don't know. I don't entirely agree with that at all. I mean, I think it does depend on the philosophy of whoever's leading it. So obviously you can certainly have, and there are some already awesome groups running in Shropshire that do create a good collaborative experience if you're indoors. I think it's just that I have a synergy myself with the outdoors. I feel freer. And I feel perhaps there's lots of boxes that happen of giving identities to children that isn't really them entirely, and they just want to be themselves, and just to let themselves accepted, let themselves be. And I think the outdoors is an amazing container for, you know, acceptance and celebrating difference and our quirkiness. And it is also just genuinely good for your body, you know, your mind. And even I when I went to my opticians in Stafford, I was amazed because he said being outdoors, it's really important for young children to get out in the outdoors because it's great for eyesight. We've got an epidemic of getting short-sighted quite quickly because of so many screens.
Oh yeah,
He's
yes.
saying there's a little bit of an issue with it around the world. So, and the antidote is to be in the outdoors and to sort of look far, look close. You know, it's just all these little things. You know,
Yeah.
we are nature ourselves. You know, we belong in the outdoors. You know, we're part of this planet.
Tell me about the drama that you and the young people create when you do this. What sort of what comes out of it at the end, if you like?
Okay, yeah. So we always do a performance to friends and family, which again is another. I think it really empowers the children and to be in that space, a loving space, a loving community where we're, you know, celebrating and giving them rich attention. What we created in summer were some really wacky, bonkers, gorgeous sort of myths. So they worked in, I think they ended up being three groups, and we had one myth, for example, was the story of a bad man, or sort of being turned into a dolphin. And because of the power of the dolphin energy, that helped him transform his ways and become a good person by the end of the story. Because what we started out was the King Midas myth on the first day to sort of, you know, have a sense of how to do what a myth is and what it's like. And then they brilliantly, you know, collaborated. And it is a challenge, you know, to really share ideas and have your bit and have my bit and compromise. And then the third day they shared them. So that was one. Yeah, and it is a joy for me to give them the freedom to use their imaginations, really, you know. So you can obviously say, let's tell this story again, and that's also another route because you're still learning so many drama skills and they'll be a bit quirkier.
Yeah.
So Speak a Drama in the Forest that we did in October, I had a really excellent book, which was all about, we started with the beginning of the day, and Alex and Ella acted it out, which was really helpful, who are these wonderful sixth form volunteers who've supported Drama in the Forest. And my concept is that you mix all the ages as well. I think it's lovely to and unusual in a way to mix year groups, to mix, you know, just really be together as a community. And the long dream is to mix intergenerationally, creating a play together. But yeah, with that one, we did at the beginning of the day, we did this, it's called The Witch's Cat and the Cauldron. So I've forgotten the words, but anyway, but the crux of it was the witch's cat, who's a bit full of himself and thinks, oh, I can do what the witch does. He when she goes away, he goes and gets what he thinks is a cookbook and makes her lunch. But then when she drinks it, she turns into a dog. And then it goes through these, you know, problems with his magic. So he goes through quite a few, and then he finally gets her back to the witch. And obviously, and it's quite funny because she wants to tell him off, but she's just going, "What's this?" So that's also a thing that needs to wear off. But they sort of took that stimulus and then they created their own version of that, and it was really impressive in just a day of the idea where, you know, you go in, you have a spell, it goes wrong, then you put it right. So there was one I can remember where it was a shop and they had the shop list, and somebody went on holiday for the day and the cover didn't really know what they were doing, so they gave the wrong spell to this person. They came back and, you know, totally annoyed because I think they were changed into a frog. And then the owner came back, and what happened was when they undid the spell, the unhappy customer then changed both the owner and the person who replaced them into frogs and walked off.
And the young people that you work with, have they had? Is this their first experience of creating drama, or is this something that they might have done before?
It's a mix, which is another reason I love it, because there will be some in there who are very experienced and love drama, and, just really relish the community of any opportunity they get. And they, well, from what I saw, they really help nurture and encourage those who it's first time, it's new for them. So it's a combination, and I think with the kick, it's very important. It is open to all and accessible to all, and not about this, as I say, fitting the box. It's just actually about growth.
Yeah.
And I have a lovely quote, which is, creativity is all about taking risks, making mistakes, trying things out, breaking rules, and sort of just allowing that to happen, and then the richness of success and communicating with each other.
Given your background, degree from Oxford, you went to LAMDA. As you mentioned that your masters in theatre direction. There's any number of routes that you could have gone down. Why is this community approach so important to you?
It's a really good question. And I've often, for me, it's finding my route, my unique, through where my skills and my heart connect. And yes, so people coming off the masters in theatre directing that I did was a very prestigious masters. It was a brilliant one from by Birkbeck. There's one director, Lindsay Turner, who's now at the National Theatre. So it's a brilliant cohort I was part of. But I feel, because I then went on to be a drama teacher as well for 7 years. I feel I'm somebody who wants to be grounded and rooted in the community, like on the ground, and that's what really excites me. And to be able to combine. So I left my teaching job at Concord College because it was a huge leap of faith, and I adored Concord College and was very happy there, and just combining my son's needs, because he was very little, he was only one, and this dream I've always had, sort of wanting to share these drama skills that I think benefit everybody, and the play and the fun really enhances your well-being and confidence. Just more widely, and I said I'm sort of about, I think, breaking barriers or something, or melting barriers. I really sort of am much more about a unity.
Yes.
And I've witnessed the absolute power of people coming together in a shared community event and really sharing their unique magic, whatever it is, and how it really uplifts everybody, and just really enjoy life. I'm an unconventional I think theatre director, drama teacher, but it is about following your bliss and following your heart, and I'm wanting to obviously contribute to creating a better, happier world.
Yeah, you've had spooky drama, you've had spring drama, you've had summer drama. What's the next drama in the forest that Moonstruck Astronaut's going to be doing?
Oh, okay. So the big, I think what we'll end up doing is 3 drama in the forest in the year. And the big thing, which, the big massive vision, is the idea of doing a giant intergenerational community show outdoors somewhere in Newport or around Newport. Isn't just about, it's in orbit around children, but it's also their parents, their grandparents, mixing everybody to do a big community show. And I have had success with this in a village. So before I did my masters, I set up the Penkle mystery plays in Penkle, Stoke-on-Trent.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually originally from Staffordshire,
mm-hmm.
and my dad and stepmom still live there, and they also were hugely helpful with doing this Penkle mystery plays. So I just had this idea, and it literally sparked. It's still going 15 years later, this sort of whirlwind of sort of social events popping up. So that Penkle mystery plays happened very successfully in 2005. I directed it, and I created the script. It was like Noah's Ark. We did it outdoors.
Yeah.
And it mixed, like, say, I had a 75-year-old and as Archangel Gabriel, and a 7-year-old I remember as Satan.
Okay.
It's just gorgeous, this sort of interplay. They're really good, riffing off each other. And so that was a wonderful event with huge people. I think about 1,000 people came to watch it, and then it happened again and again and again. So every year, and it's carried on because I then went to London, so it was carried on with the wonderful people, the committee, who wanted to keep it going. So it's sort of like that happened in that village, and I saw from that they now also do their traditional panto, which was revived. It just, it's these things that there's catalyst for more community cohesion, and I guess that's where I sort of feel I have a talent or a mission to help Newport in that way. So that's sort of long term, but also I am happy to go indoors with children too. So we are, yeah. So I'm not yeah, we can't. It is cold outdoors, and I do feel cold in winter. So I'm looking at now in terms of the children is exploring setting up a regular youth drama group in Newport in 2022, and really I've got a survey which I'd love people to input in, because they're really sort of asking actually what fits, what really can help make this work. That it really mixes children, because there's about 9 primary schools in Newport, so there's a lot, and it's just that sense of again having a neutral venue, but where they can come and grow these skills, but not necessarily with the same pressures that I sense. Well, I've been a teacher, that everyone is under in a school community. To have that sense of, yes, I'm not saying, because I think a little bit of stress is actually very healthy. So yes, we would definitely perform, but just trying to find a balance as always between process and product.
If someone wants to take part in that survey, by the way, how do they do that, Hannah?
If they could please go to the new and improved website, so www.moonstruckastronaut.com, and on the home page I've put a link to the survey, so they can find that link, click on it, as a Google form, and fill it in. And also, if there's any issues, email me. I'm hannah@moonstruckastronaut.com.
In fact, go and have a look at the website anyway, because there's loads. Apart from anything else, there's loads of pictures of young people having a wonderful time doing exactly what you've been talking about. Hannah De Quincey, thank you very much for being in the cool seat at BBC Radio Shropshire today. Looking forward to seeing what Moonstruck Astronaut does next.
Oh, thank you. And if I could say a last massive thank you to so many supporters. You know who you are. Keeping the rocket fuel going.
Hannah, thank you so much. Lovely to talk to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
That's Hannah De Quincey. She's the artistic director at Moonstruck Astronaut. It's a not-for-profit theatre company. It's based in Newport. And if anything she said over the last few minutes has kind of intrigued you, go and take a look at the website, moonstruckastronaut.com, www.moonstruckastronaut.com.